What's up, guys? Say hi to the gang.
What's up?
Okay, so as a generation, I think we've seen a whole lot. I know I've seen queues in front of STD PCOs to make these international phone calls, right? Do you remember the times when people had to stand in line? Telegraphs used to be sent. I'm not saying that I'm really old. I'm just saying we are that generation that's seen a lot of changes happen. And one such huge change that's happening right in front of us is fuel being used for vehicles and how that's transitioning into electric vehicles. I've got three big announcements that just came in. I believe the Delhi government is going to allow residents to charge electric vehicles free of cost from June 1st. And this is a move so that more and more people get into the bandwagon of using electric vehicles. Then 3 electric vehicles are going to be launched by Tata in the month of April. So they have lined up a whole fleet of cars that are going to be launched one after another. This is happening from Tata's end. At the same time, we also read about how an electric vehicle had a blast. When I say had a blast, literally there was a blast. And so which clearly says that we are in that trial and error phase. Maybe, I don't know, is it going to take a longer time than we thought to transition into electric vehicles? Nelson actually owns an electric vehicle and you use it quite frequently.
Yep.
And I'm sure you did your bit of research before buying into the electric vehicle.
Absolutely. Yeah. So with the electric vehicle, I had obviously an IEC engine before that. So my main purpose was to commute between home and office and other small errands and stuff like that. With the electric bike, it's absolutely a brilliant thing, because it's like really easy to ride and maneuver in traffic. Which most of our other mopeds and stuff and all, they're not really well designed. There's it's off balance because of the engines on one side and all that stuff. So it's constantly pulling us to one side, and it totally feels different when you ride an electric bike because it's pretty nimble in the traffic, and that's absolutely what we need. Apart from heavy vehicles and stuff, and plus again the rising fuel cost. I think. There's definitely, there's going to come a point where, the cost for the upfront cost for the vehicle and the fuel cost for which, you pay is all going to sum up very soon. And, very soon you're going to make up money, save up money actually,
Right. So you never felt that maybe this is too early? Because I know a lot of people are thinking that when it comes to four-wheelers at least, the cost is too heavy. There is still a large sum that you're paying when it comes to buying a four-wheeler, but a two-wheeler electric, you feel it's already here.
See, for a population like ours, we don't have much space and stuff and all that. So any which ways, a four-wheeler is not the easiest and the most economical way to commute, kind of stuff. So a two-wheeler is any day a brilliant thing. And the sweet spot for an electric vehicle is two-wheelers at the moment because of the technology, limitations that they have, range, anxiety, and all of that. So I think the two-wheeler sits at that exact spot for the price and the range and what it offers,
Yeah.
So I think it might be too early for people, especially the Indian market, to switch to an electric car. Because the cost is too much, and maybe you do not know what's the long-term cost on your batteries.
How the refinement is going to happen.
Yeah, refinement, because you might end up paying more for the battery replacement than a fuel than a petrol or a diesel car,
Yeah.
So I think the cost for a electric bike at the moment is at the right spot now, and with more competition coming in, you have the price lowering every day, and with the subsidies and all the government schemes and stuff, it's getting more economical for people to get a two-wheeler than an electric car at the moment. Yeah.
I mean, right now, if you're given some money and you are told to buy a car, I'm sure you would consider an electric. It's at that stage where you'll go, maybe I'll consider an electric. The costs definitely, though, are on the higher side, so that can be a huge hindrance. Rishi, you've tested and you keep doing this. I think you do this for time pass. He just walks into lots of electric bike showrooms and he gives it a test ride.
So I checked out the Nexon EV, which was really I really like the Nexon because it's an SUV and you can move around with it and it feels like you're driving an actual car.
But it doesn't make any sound.
It doesn't make any sound.
No noise.
I think it's just for luxury, to be honest. But when it comes down to mopeds, like he was saying, motorcycles and all, it's easy to maneuver in the city. It's best to have it in the city. I checked out the Revolt, which was nice. It had good pickup and everything. Like they have 3 modes in it, and it's good. But my only problem with it is it looks like a motorcycle, but doesn't feel like a motorcycle.
Yeah.
That's my problem. Like it has a fake speaker as well, and I don't know why it works. I might as well just have my own particular sound that I want to put into it.
True.
You know?
Then you might as well put any sound.
Any
no?
sound.
Yeah.
Like the whole revving and you feeling the engine. That
Yeah.
was one of the main purposes for people to fall in love with bikes. And you feel that adrenaline between your wheels.
The
to have a
vibration
heavy
in a
engine.
bike, right? It's completely different feel from it. Like,
Here you
it's
don't
just-
feel
you don't feel
anything.
anything. You're
But
just like
when he mentioned Nexon EV,
Yeah.
right? So I recently purchased a Nexon.
Yeah.
When we went to the show
And that's petrol.
and petrol, and,
yeah.
and the salesperson
Yeah.
there is trying to push out all the petrol and diesel vehicles, and we were like, we want to test EV.
Yeah.
He's like, not for 2 years. I go, why?
Right.
I don't know why. They're trying
Maybe
to push,
they-
they're trying to push out.
I
all
think
the
this is
petrol.
just
They're
the
trying
first
to
version,
sell all
right?
the unsold units of the car, right?
But also-
like, sell it while you
that's
can.
the possibility.
But
While
also,
you
like,
can.
this is the first version, right? Like, the first set of electric vehicles that's come out. So, if there's any flaw that comes about, right, then they'll improve it in the next one.
Yeah. It
Right.
almost feels like a bunch of phones being released by companies, right? The next model that's going to come is going to see improvements.
Yeah.
And it's not like an OS upgrade that you can do manually. Or maybe it's going to reach that stage where you can simply go in for an upgrade. Maybe that's going to happen. Others, none of us, by the way, here are mechanical engineers. So we are just giving our points of view. However, others, you spoke to a buddy of yours
Yeah.
who is a mechanical engineer.
Yeah. So basically, what I learned after speaking to him is that even though electric vehicles are pollution free and everything, it's still not very sustainable. One, because it's a non-renewable source of energy. It's not renewable like solar or hydro, but because lithium extraction from the soil is very rare and it takes a lot of mining effort, so which is still not sustainable because we are also spending a lot of electricity while riding these scooters, which basically is again India's most highest source of electric power supply is burning coal, which means that fossil fuels are still getting burnt. So it's definitely an alternate method for
It's a cleaner
stopping
option.
air and noise pollution.
Yeah.
But we still have a long way to go in terms of understanding the sustainability of it, and also using renewable sources of energy more than electric, because he says there's something called hydrogen fuel cell, which is the future of electric vehicles, where they extract this from water. Even saline water can be used for this, and that is the future because it's not from lithium. It's not dependent on these elements in nature.
Right.
So this is the information that I got from it. But I'm sorry I didn't crack any jokes.
At this point of time, it's 2022. Maybe we did expect like flying cars to be around. I know in a lot of movies, at this point of time, we were in the future already.
Back to the Future.
Back to the
Yeah,
future.
Back to the
whole
Future.
set, yeah.
But sometimes we are fascinated by
Still
are
feel
like
Elon Musk is hiding it somewhere.
yeah, we are fascinated by kacha badam reels and fidget spinners and things like that.
But
So
irrespective
that's-
of electric being the future or not, I feel like Delhi needs it. So I think they need to push for it irrespective of if it's because it's for places which are highly air polluted like Delhi.
yeah,
Electric vehicles is like a miracle, I think.
But it's also a problem of the semiconductor chips, right?
Okay.
Which has to
on
come
vehicles,
from, which has to come from Taiwan.
right?
So I don't know what's going to happen about the war, but they are saying that if China attacks Taiwan, it's going to be a
Yeah, we are at a point where all our neighboring countries are going through some sort of turmoil. I'm saying India is also having its own set of problems, but
We also have the IPL.
yeah, but the big distraction is on as well. So we are busy talking about other things as well. Ali, you had a few things that you wanted to
Yeah,
bring
so I did a lot of research on lithium itself. So lithium is quite rare, as you said. But so we have like around 7 mines in the world that we can mine lithium from. And the whole process itself uses a lot of water, around 500,000 gallons of water to mine 1 metric ton of lithium. And the other issue with lithium is that we don't know how long it'll last. Like, we have all lithium-ion batteries in our phones, and that doesn't last more than maybe 3 years. So we don't know how long these electric vehicles batteries will last for us to, as you said, go and replace it, and what the entire process is there. It's just come out. We're still like figuring things out for that. And the thing is, there is a possibility for it to become sustainable. And there's a whole geothermal, scene that's happening in UK.
Okay.
But again, it's all been patented.
I think there are a lot of problems with this.
Yeah.
When it comes to e-waste also, where do you dispose these batteries?
Yeah.
Right,
Millions of batteries. Like, where do you dispose
And not
them?
only that, so the research says that by 2050, we'll have around 72 times the number of electric vehicles.
Yeah.
Right? So that means we're going to have a lot more usage, and we don't have that. It's not a unlimited source. So we need to have a lot more. It needs to be really thought about, and we can't use lithium for the longest time.
Also, infrastructure, right?
Yeah.
That was one of the main points I was thinking of as soon as EVs come into the picture. As to right now, you have fuel stations everywhere. What do you do when your battery runs out of charge? So you need to stop somewhere. And if all the fuel stations are replaced by charging stations, then is it feasible for so many vehicles to stand there? And how long can you stand there? Of course, Tesla has a huge iPad that's part of the console, so you can sit and watch your favorite movies while your car is getting recharged. It's all great because right now there are few in number, but if more and more vehicles start coming into the picture that need charge, then where do you go with it? Has it ever happened to you, Nelson, where your vehicle has gone out of charge and you had to find a place?
Well, I've not gone out of charge, but then I've gone really close to running out of charge. But then on the Ather dashboard, you just can look at the nearest charging point,
So
and the
you-
charge Ather grid, and you can drive to the closest point, and approximately what the company claims is like 1 minute of charge gives you about 1.5 kilometers. So even 10 minutes would get me anywhere in Bangalore, back home at least. Like, so it's not like I want to get a full 100% charge. It's just you get back home and then you can charge it back home.
That's it.
But I would still say, like, rather than having fixed batteries in vehicle, a swappable battery, and just go and swap your battery and take another battery which is full, and in a minute or two you're done. So I think that's going to be more sustainable with electric vehicles than having to plug in the charge every time you're out
Yeah.
roaming.
So
There is-
I was actually reading up about the number of charging stations that are there in India, right, for electric vehicles, and how many do you think there are there?
I'm guessing there are lots. We may not be aware of it.
Thousands.
We may not be aware of it because we don't observe this. Probably because we fill petrol and diesel.
Yeah, so there's 1,640 in India.
That's it.
Yeah, and you know how many electric vehicles? Yeah, how many electric vehicles has been bought till now?
More than a lakh easy.
3,29,190.
Right.
It is like 1:30.
No, but majority of them charge at
crazy.
home. So I mean, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
it's-
you get a set up at home as well.
set up at home.
But-
I know right now, Jio or the Reliance Group is in talks with plenty of the big fuel stations as well to set up an infrastructure facility, and very soon that is going to be happening in place. So
Yeah.
Do you think we'll get one of those, like these local mechanics also, to like local EV shops?
that
That's what-
Battery
that's
shops,
when
battery
that's
shops,
when
yes.
I know we have arrived.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
When the guy
Like stop.
near my house can fix the vehicle if need be, but apparently these vehicles don't need much of a fixing. There's not much to be
There's
fixed.
nothing much in it, like apart from a battery pack and a motor and a controller. So there's nothing
We'll
much
have
like
this huge Nippon batteries.
Yeah. So it's just like plug and play,
Brand
and
plug-in.
that's what this is going to bring in. It's going to bring in a huge revolution, and a lot of the things are going to change. At the same time, there are companies who are vying for you not even buying a vehicle. They're like, just rent it out
Rent it
from
out.
us, use it and throw it.
And also,
And that's the company's aim.
And put it on
electric
bounce as a
autos
bundle.
have come out. I recently traveled
Yeah.
in an electric auto.
Yes.
We've spoken
Yeah.
about 2-wheelers and 4-wheelers, but there are also 3-wheelers. This one was by Piaggio.
Yeah.
I have to say, damn cool.
Very smooth.
Point number
There
one.
are
It's not
also-
only passenger autos, right?
Yeah.
There are also goods.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cargo.
there are.
We
Yeah.
also
I was
have
shocked. They
electric-
actually carry heavy goods and they transport it from one place to another.
We also have electric
But I
buses.
usually
There is an
go
electric bus in Bangalore as well.
More than one. I think we have a few electric buses in Bangalore that's running.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
electric
Electric buses.
also.
And they are
City
running
bus.
into a bit of hurdles because the charge for these vehicles and what happens when they break down,
Yeah.
because a complete stretch of road gets blocked.
How will you know if it's on or off?
Also because
the road was broken down for a while.
bus drivers
They
know how to
let
maintain
go.
their
It
vehicles.
Yeah.
A while ago.
These buses are in mint condition right now.
Now.
Yeah.
For like 2 days.
However, yeah.
Yeah, like in 5 years, they'll be the same level of how the Volvo is
I
right
think
now.
Indians will start.
I think they'll
expecting
start
more.
making
They'll be
noise
like,
after
it's
a
an
point.
electric bus. Do we have charging points in that?
Yeah.
I mean, but buses do have charging points, right?
I
The
know, but
Volvos have.
electric buses, right?
I mean, they will have to.
They'll
Right?
be
They
like,
should.
Does it have a lightning fast charge or not?
Like,
Or a
They'll
lighter.
pull all the
Yeah.
lightning electricity from there.
Yeah.
Vishal has gone to an electric bus and asked for a lighter.
Yeah.
So the shift is happening for sure, and we knew that the Middle Eastern countries were preparing for this a long time ago, right? That the shift is going to happen. This is happening faster than I thought it would, because for a long time I thought lobbyists wouldn't allow it to happen.
Yeah.
They would want the monopoly to be within the Middle Eastern countries because we are dependent on them for fuel. However, this is happening really, really fast, and looks like the government is also vying for it.
You
in terms
remember
of
the EV day, right?
EV Day, yeah. We celebrated the EV Day, which was hosted by the Karnataka government, where all these electric vehicles held rallies. A few of them stopped.
Yeah.
So that's where I feel this is work in progress. We still aren't there as yet, but the shift is soon happening. So the next car that you're going to buy, is that going to be your dream car, which looks incredible, running on a diesel engine, or will that be an electric economical car?
I think it'll be an electric economical.
It'll
Because
be-
I saw a Mercedes electric car. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I think your friends will shame you if you buy petrol in a few years. Like
Maybe,
there'll be a come a
yeah,
time
yeah,
when
yeah,
all these
yeah.
new age peers will be like, you're still using petrol cars. They're just gonna
Yeah,
shun
you
you and
seem like, hey, you're living in another era.
Oh my God,
Why are
I
you
can
living in
use
a
it. Yeah,
stone
exactly.
age using these cars that use higher fossil fuels? Instead, why don't you switch to electric? You think that's going to happen?
I don't know for sure. I think the shift is gradual and it's definitely going to happen. But again, like you said, there are a lot of lobbies and there's a lot of fuel still left under the Middle East who I feel like they'll still capitalize on that.
Yeah, but petrol and diesel costs are going higher and higher.
Yeah,
That's true.
every single
A
day.
lot of people actually thought that this is something that the government is doing to get
push.
more and more
Yeah.
people to buy electric vehicles,
That's
right?
possible
Because
also.
fuel rates are higher than
it is making
ever.
people think. So
Yeah.
it is. It is definitely making people think.
So on EV day, I remember
One of the ministers.
One of the
ministers.
So she said we are getting electric vehicles into the rural places of India also.
Yeah.
For example, the farmers are producing solar energy and they're giving it back to the government, right? So they're saying produce that, keep it and use it on your electric vehicles. So use that electricity, just travel like they travel hardly like 10-20 kilometers, right? They're
Yeah.
saying use that.
Yeah.
Like the shift is happening. I hope it happens.
India that way has like moved on to the more renewable source of energy,
Yeah.
which is we're doing a lot better than US and the other countries. And our carbon footprint is reducing day by day, but we still use coal, as you
But
said.
the problem
That's
is
the main
electric is
issue.
not renewable.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things because
Yeah.
we're still developing.
Yeah.
We're trying as much as we can to move to those, but we still need to use the old methods, which is fossil fuels and coal essentially,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
is very, very not. It's not good.
Yeah.
Something is getting burned somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's essential that we speak about this now, because at one point of time we were all working from home, but now slowly people are coming back to the roads, and we in Bangalore city honestly don't have any more space.
Yeah.
The city is work in progress all the time, and there are flyover constructions, Namma metro construction happening in one corner, and when all of the people come back to the roads, we feel so very congested. And keep in mind that a lot of the IT crowd is still working from home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If everyone starts coming back to the city, then it,
Whitefield is gonna be packed. It's already packed. They're doing some work right now, and
Yeah.
But on the plus side, our radio business will improve.
yeah.
So, woohoo for traffic.
If you
yeah.
ask, like, I mean, I think there's
It's
a bubble to be bursted very
both
soon.
ways.
Like, this EV is just like, just
It's gonna
everyone wants to
happen
just jump
sooner
on
or
the
later.
bandwagon.
Yeah.
That's happening bandwagon right now. I don't think so. Honestly, I don't think so. This is the future. Like, Even though if they say this is the future, I don't think so. Like just how Adarsh mentioned, it's not sustainable. There's nobody wants to address the ghost within this
Yeah.
thing. Like the dark side of EVs. Like like it says, like lithium is not like something that it's not abundantly found. So and the cost, the kind of amount of water that is goes into refining and bringing the mineral out or whatever. It's not feasible in any ways. Like if you look at, the other day I was reading an article saying that in 30 years, Bangalore's going to run out of water. Major cities are going to run out of water. Then, you're going to use that water to get electric batteries up? I don't think so. That's going to be the future. I think ICE engines are still going to be kings, even in the coming future. Unless you have a proper alternate fuel like hydrogen cell or whatever that that's it's going to be. EV is just that bubble to be burst very soon.
And my cousin used this term which struck with me. He said, illusion of being sustainable is what electric vehicle is.
Right.
So when he said illusion, I was like, oh, okay. Because he reads up pretty well, and then the both positive and negative.
Yeah, there may be vested interest even
just like
for
that.
those
Yeah.
who want everyone to go into electric
Those
so that there are
companies
monies
who
to
are-
be made.
Yeah. Just like
World
the
Earth
toothpaste
Day
companies who were promoting lavanga for a while and then salt after a while. It's
Yeah.
just that, right? Now the trending term is organic food and
Yeah.
EV.
Yeah.
EV.
So just ride the wave.
Yeah, I guess I know for the time being, all the battery companies, Amar Raja batteries, all their stocks are going up really high, and that's something for you to watch out for. But let's see what happens. We'll keep a close track on Nelson to see how he's performing on the EV, and Rishi is going to keep walking into other electric showrooms to get test ride.
Which one? The TVS.
And
Give me a lift, guys. Where's that pen? Yeah.
And Vishal and I will try out a couple of
Public
Yulu
transport.
scooters.
Yeah,
Yulus.
public transportation.
Yulus are fun.
Yeah.
Yulus
But they're
are actually
annoying.
fun.
They're really annoying when
Yulus
they
are fun.
Really
You
annoying.
know what one of my friend does? He gets drunk and he takes a Yulu back home because nobody checks you.
Yeah.
And
That's
he,
genius.
And he
I'm
said,
using that
like,
next
I'm going at 12 kilometers per hour, so nobody can catch
I mean,
me.
he's gonna
And
feel like he's going faster.
you don't even need a DL. you
don't
don't
need a
even
DL.
need a DL to take a Yulu,
Right,
right?
right, yeah.
So you have little kids playing around with school
Yeah.
kids
Oh yeah, I've
playing
seen school kids.
with Yulus.
It's like one guy takes the scooter, he drops all of them.
Yeah.
One by one.
That's the hack, by the way, guys. If you get drunk, you can take a Yulu. Not that we endorse it,
Yeah, we
because
drink
I
and
think
Yulu.
Definitely
you
do
can,
not
you can
promote
be
it.
very
No.
wobbly as it
No,
is.
I
So
don't think it
just
should be a
make a
campaign.
responsible
Yeah, it's not a-
choice.
no, no.